Hi, everybody. Welcome back to another Second Breakfast podcast. We're doing another viewer mailbag today.
Woo!
Woo! Very exciting. Very exciting. And it's very exciting, Phil, because we're getting some amazing questions. You have been on a roll, and it's fantastic.
It's true. That's Andy
Um,
Roth, and I'm Phil Duvall.
oh,
What's
yeah, yeah.
got what's got two thumbs and loves mailbags? This
This guy.
guy. Okay, well that happened.
Everyone should know I warned Phil about this before we started recording. I didn't get a lot of sleep last night,
Oh boy,
so I'm a little wonky. Just be aware of that.
I've been
Um,
off caffeine for 3 days. I cannot guarantee you that this will happen. I might just just fall down during the like both of us might. This could be like a 70-minute episode because like 55 minutes in we're both just asleep on our keyboards.
and we're chatting to each other just the letter Z 800,000 times. Yes.
I like the idea that that's how I sleep. My dog goes like this while he's sleeping. It's amazing.
Oh man, you're tickling my funny bone more than you usually do. So, oh no, you know I'm tired.
Let's do some questions from the mailbag, the
First
battle mail.
question. First question from, I believe, first-time contributor Anthony. Hello, Anthony.
Hi, Anthony. Thanks for contributing for the first time.
I think I've seen most of the mailbags, and I don't believe that was in italics. Oh no. I don't believe this has been asked, which
Nice.
parenthetical, which just upsets me to an extent words will not describe. Ugh.
Golly.
So here it is. Best lawyer movie and why? Full disclosure, Anthony and I went to law school together. That's
Okay.
why he's
Okay.
that's not why he's insane, but that's why he's insane about lawyer movies.
He was pretty intense just then.
Yeah, yes.
Okay.
Yes.
I was about to answer two other movies, and then another movie happened in my head. Actually, one of them doesn't count. So, I was gonna say Anatomy of a Murder,
Okay.
although I've only seen it once.
Sure.
I think we need to talk about Inherit the Wind. I almost said 12 Angry Men, except I realized that 12 Angry Men doesn't have any lawyers in it.
It's true. Let's expand it to courtroom movies. If you I mean I
Okay.
don't want to force you, but like courtroom movies.
So let me just say the greatest courtroom movie of all time is clearly My Cousin Vinny. Problem solved.
We're done. We're
Yeah.
done. And that
So I'm
stands in
trying.
for
How
the
do I
second and
cancel?
third questions
Click,
as well. No.
click, click. Uh, continue. You go.
Well, a couple words about Anatomy of a Murder and My Cousin Vinny, which I have mentioned for this reason on this podcast before.
You have.
They are both strikingly accurate as to the process of criminal procedure and the rules of evidence. So,
Which, by
yeah,
the way, just so you know, that's actually why I like them.
no, it isn't.
Yeah, I remember the first time I saw My Cousin Vinny, and I was like, "This is strikingly accurate."
Yes, and not this is strikingly a beautiful woman in a very tight purple dress. That's
No, I mean the funny thing is, that's not the main reason to love that movie. Their chemistry and their humor
oh,
is
it's
amazing.
amazing. It's so good. It's so good.
But but
And
but she is so adorable in that movie.
agreed. And it's
Adorable.
proof that Ralph Macchio has like the portrait of Dorian Gray up in his attic or something because
He's
the
killed a
man
lot of
ain't
people.
aging.
He's killed a lot of people, and he looks great.
Um, I'm gonna go. This is a little sappy, but I don't care.
Okay,
I'm gonna go with To Kill a Mockingbird. It's
that's not
just
that's not that's not sappy. That's
it's
a phenomenal choice.
oh, Gregory Peck
That's
in that movie.
good for you.
Oh,
I've only seen it once, which is my problem. But it was one of those movies where it's like, oh, everyone says you've got to see To Kill a Mockingbird, blah
yeah,
blah.
yes.
And then I was like, fine, I'll watch it. And then like the entire time I was like,
I had not
oh,
seen it until I moved to New York, and a good friend of both of ours, we had both read the book, and we were both like, we haven't seen the movie, let's watch it. And so we did, and neither of us are, I would say, out of touch with our feelings. You know, it wasn't weird for us to cry at a movie or anything, but at the end of the movie, we're just like, we didn't even talk for like 5 minutes. We're like,
yeah,
it's so beautiful.
yeah.
Yeah, exactly. It's
Also,
like, wait, Wait for it.
It also
Real
had.
Talk
It
Lemon.
also had. I've only been speechless at the end of one movie that I can think of, but it also had the acting debut. I believe. I'm almost positive.
You
The
are.
acting debut of one of the greatest American actors of all time, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Duvall.
It's true. It's true.
He's the guy. We won't say who he is, but he's someone special. You're not supposed to know, right?
I don't necessarily think it matters, but let's save it. Let's save it.
Okay, let's save it. Okay. Okay.
Mostly because I want to pique anyone's interest who hasn't seen the movie yet and watch it. It's just
Yeah.
so good.
Yeah. Robert Duvall is in it. Watch out. Here he comes.
Yeah.
So good. So good.
Yes.
Greg Peck. And I loved Inherit the Wind is great. George C. Scott and Spencer Tracy. Come on. And then Anatomy of a Murder. Anatomy of a Murder
George
was
C.
great
Scott.
for. It's Spencer Tracy and
Frederick March.
I do that all the time.
It's okay. That's okay. Frederick March, and like a forgotten actor these days, but he is in just so many excellent movies of that era. So many, and he is so good in all of them. Was George C. Scott in a remake of it, perhaps?
I don't know. I can't believe I got them mixed up. That doesn't make any sense.
It's okay.
You're right. Why did I think that they don't even look anything alike? What am I thinking about? Is George C. Scott ever in a whatever? It doesn't matter.
I got nothing. It also has one of the Darrens from Bewitched.
Yes.
I always get them mixed up because their first name is both
George C. Scott was in Anatomy of a Murder. That's why I did that.
There you go. Yes,
I knew he was in one of the movies that I was talking about. I'm not totally crazy. I'm only kind of crazy.
Well, you're totally crazy, but not in this way.
Back to my cousin Vinny. It actually goes to another question. It actually leads us right into the second question. So, second question away, Andrew Roth.
Second question from favorite viewer Zan. Hello, Zan.
Hi, Zan.
What is a movie you love in a genre you don't?
Apparently that leads to the third question, not the second question. My bad.
Wow.
Sorry. We'll come back to it later.
Well, okay.
Did you read the third question second?
No, not anymore, because I've read the second question second. So it's literally impossible.
Dang it. Okay, go ahead.
We'll come back to it.
I know we will. You go first on this
one.
What
is a movie you love in a genre you don't? And I had some difficulty with this because
I love every genre.
Well, I'm
just messing with you, dude.
Well, that's true, though. I don't love every genre, but the genre isn't what makes me like a movie or not, and I know that everyone who has ever watched a zombie movie with me will think I am lying, but it's just not something that I think about as a criteria. That's not one of the criteria I look for necessarily to prejudge a movie. And there, directors, actors, screenplay, I will prejudge a movie based on those factors. But
sure,
always willing to be proven wrong, of course. But I realize that one genre that I don't just have a lot of favorites in is the romantic drama. I feel like it's hard to do them well.
Can you name a couple of those?
The English Patient.
Yeah. I figured, okay.
Wuthering Heights, which I've never seen any movie versions of.
Where would you put Sophie's Choice? Because the romance is a huge part of that movie.
That's true, but Jew.
I know.
I'm gonna go with a Holocaust movie. You know what I mean?
Nah. Okay. Listen, you pulled the Trump card. You called yourself a Jew, which you are. So now if I argue with you, I'm an anti-Semite, which I'm not.
Right.
So,
wait
fine.
With the Jews. So, but there was one movie that actually the same friend who I watched To Kill a Mockingbird with, he and I and a couple of friends in New York had a movie club that met basically never because we were all really busy. But we each chose a movie and we watched it with everybody. And his choice was The Remains of the Day.
Oh.
With
well played, guy I don't know. Wow.
Yes, you do. It's for those who don't know the plot of the movie, it is set in a British manor during World War II, in the time between the two World Wars and into World War II, and it is a love story between a butler played by Anthony Hopkins and the head maid, would you say, played by Emma Thompson,
Oh,
and how that it kills me. It is so good. It is so good. And two things I want to say about the movie. One, the score is the score of like a high adventure movie on set on a boat. It's like bombastic and like ba 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 ba, but and as that is playing, it's like slowly moving around the exterior of a large country British home. But it totally works. And the other thing I'll say is it is a Merchant Ivory film, which for many years I was like, ugh, boring British people talking into their teacups. And I'm telling you, it moved me so much that after the movie, I was a mess at the end of the movie.
yeah.
And then we started talking about it because all four of us in the movie group are movie geeks, and so
Right.
to varying degrees, and we were arguing about a point good naturedly, but it was not just a discussion. We were kind of getting heated, not at each other, but it was a heated discussion,
Sure.
and just the emotion rising in me from something completely unrelated. I I lost the ability to speak for a couple minutes, and I was literally like, I got, but I didn't even say that. I was like,
Wow.
I just I was literally overcome with emotion, literally overcome with emotion. Yeah. So I mean it's not a genre I hate, but it's a genre that I
That's
love a lot
funny.
of movies, and I don't find many favorites in that. But that movie, good
I
lord.
was gonna say, and this is like a gimme. I was gonna say Star Wars because I don't really care about science fiction, and I
Okay,
think that's the Star Wars thing that it's able to do is make you care about something that's science fiction when you don't normally care about science fiction.
sure.
But I honestly, I'm not kidding. I'm changing my answer to Remains of the Day because I no, because I
Okay,
don't care about period pieces. Like
sure.
especially that age. Like I'm just like, oh, just come on. Like drive a car, drink a Coke. Like come on, people. Just please. Like there's a whole like that whole era I don't care. And I don't know why I saw that movie. I
Remains of the Day. Yeah,
I feel like I saw it because Anthony Hopkins was in it and it came out right after Silence of the Lambs, so I
sure.
decided he was amazing.
Right.
And I was, by the way, 11 when I saw Silence of the Lambs.
Yeah. What were we doing?
No, my dad was like, "You should see this movie."
Yeah,
What
my
was
dad
he?
was too.
Parent of the year?
Oh yeah,
No.
totally.
So I think after that, I was like, I want to see Anthony Hopkins stuff, and I saw that, and I remember like while I was watching it, thinking like, I shouldn't be liking this. This is not something I should like. Remains of the Day. That was on the other day. And by the it came out in '93, so I was 14. I
Okay.
should not have liked that movie at all.
No.
And I think what's really funny about it is that when it came out, and when I was watching it, I was like, I just remember being like, there's nothing about this that I should be enjoying, and it's way too grown up for me, and all that stuff, and
Yeah.
it doesn't, it's talking about stuff that I don't even understand, but I knew it was good, and it was on the other day, and I was like, huh, that movie's boring, right? Like still in my head that it's boring, and I put it on, and like literally, it was only on for the last half hour, and the whole last half hour, I was like, oh,
Oh my God.
haven't
Uh,
seen it in like 15 years, and like I'm like, oh, I
I'm
mean, it's
I'm
crazy.
I'm getting choked up just like thinking about that movie.
We
It is
should
so
move on to
good.
the third question. Good
Let's do
call.
it.
Good question, Zan.
Yes. From frequent contributor Keith.
Sup, Keith? Sup?
What's up, Keith? What secondary or bit character do you wish had their own movie, whether a spin-off or a more detailed telling of their story in the original movie?
That's okay. Okay.
And I'm gonna direct you back to uh, the first question because you had something you wanted to say.
I get in my it's just not a good answer because it's not remotely bit parts. I literally was thinking to myself a completely different question, which is, by
Awesome.
the way, a good question, but it's what movie? I think we've even talked about it here before. What movie would you most like them to make a sequel of?
Nice.
And my answer would be My Cousin Vinny. I want a sequel. I want Vinny and whatever her name is in it, Tina, I think. I want them in a movie. I want
Mona
to see them
Lisa.
right now.
Mona Lisa Vito.
Mona Lisa Vito.
Yeah. Right. Right. A moment of silence for Mona Lisa Vito.
Marissa Tomei is like she and Julianne Moore keep getting older and somehow keep getting better looking.
I will
Like
agree with you
Julianne
on
Moore
one
is
of those
better
things.
looking now than she was 15 years ago.
Who?
Julianne Moore is better looking now than she was 15 years
I
ago.
will respectfully disagree with you.
Okay.
The
One, then you're
reason
wrong. And then two, with Marissa Tomei, she may not be getting better looking, but she ages so beautifully.
I absolutely agree with that. And the only thing I'll say about Julianne Moore is I can't actually see what she looks like because she's always crying. So, sorry, sorry. That's on you, dude. You shouldn't drink. I mean, I know not to
You
drink when
clearly
you're
haven't
saying
seen The
something
Hand That
funny.
Rocks the Cradle because she does not cry in The Hand That Rocks the Cradle. But anyways, that's a whole other story.
Nice.
I watched that the other day.
Awesome.
What the heck
Awesome.
is wrong with me? When I say the other day, by the way, it could be months ago, might even be a year ago. The other day, children, kids who listen and watch this podcast, when you get old like us, you'll be like, the other day, and it's like, when was that? Like, so for instance, when did you start the AFI Top 100 list? The other day. It was before my daughter was born. She's going to be 2 soon. We're not even in the 70s yet.
Wow.
Well,
Wow,
it's
dude.
hard.
Sure.
It's hard out there to be a pimp, Andy. It's hard out there to be.
I don't disagree with you. That's
Hey,
what I
what's
hear.
the third question again? Because I have not
What
addressed it.
secondary or bit character do you wish had their own movie, whether a spin-off or a more detailed telling of their story in the original movie?
I think Mike Namagita from Fargo. He's
Awesome.
right.
Well done.
Yeah, I'd like to
Well
see Mike
done.
Namagita from Fargo. That's my answer.
Nice.
That's my first answer.
Okay.
Go ahead.
We can banter back and forth. My
Can
first
we?
answer is kind of a snarky answer, but it doesn't mean I don't mean it. Boba Fett, but basically to shut the vocal minority of Star Wars fans up, because I
Who's
never
the-
got the appeal of Boba Fett. I never did.
I don't want a
Ever.
movie of his because I don't want them to pay him that. I couldn't. I agree so completely. I don't
Right.
understand. Boba Fett didn't do anything special. I don't care what anyone says.
No.
He didn't- And beyond that, let me just say something. I mean, yeah, so he's a bounty hunter who hunted bounty, and he did a good job. Okay, fine. He was then killed by blind Han Solo.
Right? Yes.
Han Solo was blind when he killed him.
Yes.
That's no big
Right.
deal.
The
Killed him
one
by
time we
accident.
see him actually achieve a bounty that he has hunted, the dude's frozen.
Right.
The dude's frozen. Awesome.
Terrible.
It's really
Terrible.
easy to play hide and seek when the person that you're playing with has no
I
arms
just
or legs.
so amazingly don't care about Boba Fett.
Indeed.
Good call, Andy Roth.
Thank you. This is not. Thank you, sir. This is not a bit character, but we never get. I would love to see, and by this, Hollywood, please don't make this movie. Just don't. I would love to see, like, the younger years of Doc Brown in Back to the Future.
Wow.
Right?
Wow, that would be kind of cool.
Right?
That would be kind of cool.
Please don't make that movie.
Or even just like Doc Brown and Mary Steenburgen, like driving,
Totally.
like flying
Yes.
around in their steam train,
Yes.
time machine, and just checking stuff out. How cool would that be?
Yes.
I would see that. I would see that movie.
I'd like to jump in whenever you'd like.
Just keep going.
I'd like to see Atreyu. I'd like to see a movie about Atreyu from the Neverending Story. Maybe one where Artax doesn't die and I'm not the saddest little kid in the world. You know, maybe where they're actually having
That's
an
the
adventure
saddest
together.
thing that ever happened ever.
Ever.
Why would you kill a horse?
It's
on a TV
just
show?
the worst. I'd love to see, and this is another sort of younger days movie, but this is actually a
Yeah.
bit character. The other guy with The Shining, the chef, Dick Halloran,
Oh wow.
right? I'd love to see like
Alright,
him learning
yeah.
to use it as a younger man. I just think that would be really cool to watch.
I want to see the guy from Big Trouble in Little China. I want to see I want to see anything more, the continuing adventures of Jack. But I also want to see the old Chinaman, like who ends up being the good guy. Like
Yeah,
I want to see his life. I want to see a movie about him.
totally, totally.
Um,
The
oh man, oof, that would be awesome.
yes, the
I feel
my
like none of these answers are good enough. I feel like there's something out there that we should be thinking of, and I don't know
well,
what it is, and it's really frustrating me.
well. Here's the deal. My ultimate answer, and I save it for last, because that's the kind of guy that I am.
Ew,
Uh,
saving it for last.
any any of the couples, the interview couples in When Harry Met Sally,
Oh,
any of them, any
you're
of
so
them, and
cute.
I will say this. This is a little bit of trivia for people who, because there's no one in this on Earth who has not seen this movie, except you know who you are. See it today. Um, those are all real stories,
Yeah,
and Rob Reiner filmed the actual couples telling their stories, but because it's Hollywood, it wasn't good enough. So he took their real stories and gave it to actors. But I would watch a movie with those actors because, I mean, and it's easier to have chemistry with a small sample size, if they're just in one scene. But I still kind of can't believe that those aren't the actual people. That
I
where
hear
she's
you.
where she where he's like, I wrote up 9 extra floors just to keep talking to her, and she just looks at him. He's like, 9 extra floors. Oh my god. Oh my god. Right?
Yeah, let me ask you a question.
Oh, yeah.
Can I ask you, well, When I Met Sally is pretty high up on your list, right?
Very high up.
Yeah.
Extremely high up.
Which, by the way, we were asking a question of each other a while back, and it was like, who would play you in the movie?
Yeah.
And I gave, if you remember, I gave you Skinny Jonah Hill.
Yes.
But I think honestly that's a mistake because you gave me Al Pacino, which is much older, and I was trying to think within your age range.
Fair enough.
So if we're just doing ageless, I would totally give you Billy Crystal. It wouldn't even be a
Thanks, man.
question. I
Thank
mean,
you.
no, but it's like not even a question.
I
He was doing something. I saw a preview of him for some terrible movie that's coming up, and I
oh.
was like, and it looked terrible, but I was like, oh, Billy Crystal, Andy Roth. Like it actually happened in my head, in the old noggin. You read recently, possibly, that Lawrence Kasdan is working on spin-offs for Star Wars,
Indeed.
which is amazing since Lawrence Kasdan folks wrote Empire Strikes Back. Now, here's the question, Andy, based on the question we were just given, which
Yes.
is, and Boba Fett is not acceptable answer now. What
Okay.
Star Wars characters would you actually like to see spun off?
Like in Dream World or in the world that Lawrence Kasdan might actually write.
I potato potato man, throw it out
Okay,
there.
I'd like to see more of Lando. He's just an interesting character. I'd like to see. Um, oh, that's really good. That's really good. I'd like to see a re- a really young Harrison Ford play a scene with a terribly CGI Jabba the Hutt. Oh, wait a minute. We've already seen that.
He's so angry.
Yeah. Give me your answers because
I just want them to do a whole TV show just based at the Mos Eisley Cantina.
awesome. Yes. Nice. I like it. I do.
That's all I want.
I like that a
That's
lot.
what I would actually. I'm one of those people who grew up loving the Ewoks and does not feel guilty about it. So the
Sure.
fact that they actually made Ewok TV shows, I love those shows.
With Wilford Brimley?
Yes.
Yes.
And that
Yes.
little blonde girl that she was just so, she was so cute.
Yes.
I don't know who it was. She was adorable. Anyways,
Well, guys, we've given you a bonus question this evening. I imagine.
I want to see more movies with Mad Mardigan from Willow.
Yes. But skinny Val Kilmer, not Val Kilmer where he ate Val Kilmer.
I was going to say, I think Val Kilmer just got eaten by Val Kilmer?
Yes. Yes.
John Malkovich. John Malkovich. John Malkovich. Malkovich. Kilmer. More Kilmer. More Kilmer.
Indeed.
All right.
Guys, that's a bonus question for you. Bonus question. 4-question mailbag. I assume, Phil, that was your question. You weren't hiding a mailbag
Just
question.
made it up in my head.
Love it. I love it when you make things up in your head.
God bless us both. All right. Happy weekend, everyone.
Happy weekend, everybody. I hope you've enjoyed
Seriously.
this viewer mailbag. We'll see you again real soon. I'm Andy Roth. That's Phil Duvall. Say goodbye, Phil.
Shomer Shabbos. See you later.
Bye, everybody.